Do you suffer with binge eating? Does binge eating ruin your diet plan? Me too. If you want to know how to deal with it, carry on watching. Let's face it, we've all binged food. Otherwise you wouldn't be watching it and I wouldn't be talking about it. I don't know about you, but I got fat mainly because of binge eating. I was always in the garage and always buying that one bag of Doritos that would last a couple of days. And I know how frustrating it can be when the binge devil comes to visit. I'm here to tell you how to deal with it when it happens and how it isn't the end of the world and how to get back on track. God, I put some promise into that intro, and unfortunately I don't think I can stop it happening to you, as I can't seem to stop it happening to me. But I can promise to share how I deal with it and how not to let it cost me all my hard work. You know, I'm nearly 5 stone down now. I'm targeting this video at people who have started their weight loss adventure, as that's where I am. But I will say that if you haven't started a plan, I know how defeating a binge eating session can be. But the difference is that when it happens, when you aren't in a plan, it feels like there's no way out of it. There's no consequence, there's no consequences, there's nothing to lose. So if binge eating is upsetting you or even making you feel ill, getting on a plan can help, but that's a subject for another video. I've also got some of them. So why am I making this video this week? Well, I think you can work that one out, can't you? Simple. Yesterday I smashed a massive overdose of crap. I've recently upped my allowance and I'm getting close to my maintenance after 37 weeks of being hardcore. Now Wednesdays are always a bit iffy for me because I go with my eldest to a comedy night and we usually go out for something to eat. And I knew on this particular night I was having a monster calzone. I've seen it before, it's huge. And that should have been fine. I should have just had what I normally have during the day. It would have kicked me in midway through my target and my limit. But for some reason I just couldn't stop eating crap. So I stopped for diesel, I had a steak bake. I thought, well, if you're having a steak bake you might as well have a cake as well. And it just went downhill from there. So anyway, we had the best damn calzone I've ever had. Now I'm not normally a big fan of calzone because it just seems like a folded pizza, but this is all big and fluffy and it's stunning. It's from a place in Moseley in Birmingham called Ponte Legno. Definitely recommend it. And according to MyFitnessPal, it's not ridiculous on calories either, but do you know what? Every now and again you've got to splurge, if I hadn't already splurged. So, comedy night, and on the way back, for some reason I stopped at the garage and bought more crap. And to make things worse, Wednesday's my weigh-in day, and I'd started the week knowing that I'd lost 0 pounds, which is fine at my point in the journey. But I knew I'd be, I didn't go out that day on a win, and I don't know why I did it. I think it's probably only the 3rd time I've binge eaten since I've been on the diet. But when I do it properly. That day, 4,000 calories. That's more than I eat in 2.5 days normally. So I'm pretty sure this must sound familiar to you. Why not comment down below how bad your worst ever day's been and how often. But I'm going to tell you now it's not the end of the world. So how do we deal with this? Let's start with saying why it's not the end of the world. I enjoyed it. Other than that feeling of despair at my madness, that calzone was fantastic. But that, if it was just a calzone, it wouldn't have been a problem. The other reason is you don't lose weight based on a single daily deficit. A deficit and weight loss are cumulative. To explain, there's a good chance I may still achieve a deficit by the end of the week. And to be blunt, and this is only a theory, in the same way as your body takes time to lose weight, it takes time to gain it. My theory is that if you smash more than a few hundred past your target, your limit or whatever, it will come out the other end, and we know what we're talking about there. Any temporary weight gain will be mainly water. This happens when you consume a large meal high in sodium and carbohydrates. The extra salt can cause your body to absorb and retain water, which can cause a temporary increase on the scale. This is not the same as gaining fat, it's just your body holding on to water. It usually resolves itself within a few days as your body regulates the fluid balance. So to sum it up, a good dump and a few days and you should be back to normal. More importantly, just because you binged once, you don't carry on binging. So how am I going to deal with this and how should you deal with it? Simple, get back on track. We all know what it looks like, we all know what we need to do. So how's that going, Ian? Well, my TDEE is about 2100 calories, so a 500 deficit kicks me in at about 1600 and I target 1200. with some leeway. If you watch my weight loss is simple or weight loss is easy, I've forgotten what my buddy called it myself now, I'll explain this. Thursday was okay. I was back on my normal steady Eddie breakfasts and lunch at work, and I had some ostrich for my tea. Sorted. That day kicked in at 13.90. I'm sorry, I keep looking at the screen because I've written it all down. Friday wasn't quite so good because I go home to see the family and we had fish and chips. Yep, you're still going to do stuff like that even when you're trying to get back on track. So that day kicked in at 1824. A little bit high for me, definitely above my 1200 target, but still 300 within my TDEE, but that's not particularly impressive considering I had 2,000 spare on Wednesday. So Saturday was a shit show. Mum got taken ill, so we were waiting for ambulances and God knows what else. So I ended up having crap as a sort of meal deal from Co-op, and I just needed an energy rush. But I pulled it back later with some salmon and pasta, and the day kicked in at just over 1,600. So relatively happy with that. Sunday, that's today, I really needed to get back in the zone. So I started off with some scrambled egg on toast, which is a common home day breakfast. And I was on the road at lunchtime, so I ended up in McDonald's of all places. Now, top tip here, you can have fish fingers and fries if you have it as a kid's meal, and it only kicks in at just under 400 calories. And tonight I thought I'd treat myself with some duck and a really rich tomato and mushroom linguine. So today has kicked in at 1370. So normally, so we're Sunday, we're 5 days into my normal week, and I'm down to an average of 2026, which is a total of 74 calories below my TDEE. So I'm in a massive calorie deficit, but I'm in a deficit. So this week, I normally save my weigh into the beginning of the following week. I think this week, with it being pertinent, I'm going to actually include my weigh in on the last day of the log, if you know what I mean, so that you can see if it's had any effect. So I don't think I'll lose much, if at all. So as soon as it's Sunday and I've still got Monday and Tuesday to eat, I'll bang in and I'll be back on later. Right, so we're up to Monday now, and I'm totally back on track with my regular overnight oats for brekkie and tuna salad for lunch for a total of 452 calories during the day. Which of course means I can splurge on a 2-course dinner, so I came up with a gyoza and cuttlefish ball starter and a wakame, that's seaweed miso soup at 222, followed by a gorgeous duck breast and a really rich homemade tomato and chilli sauce, sweet chilli at that, and mushrooms over a dirty mash with green beans. This kicked in an unbelievable 490 calories for a daily total of 1,203. So dirty mash is just mashed potatoes boiled without peeling and a spoonful of yoghurt and black pepper. Really nice. So Tuesday, I won't bore you with my daytime because guess what? It was overnight oats and salad again. Dinner was jalfrezi and rice because I was freezer foraging for a total of 465. Unfortunately, I was on the road, so I binged on a sausage roll and a cheese roll. I kicked in at 1748, which dragged my daily average up to 1806, which now brings my weekly deficit up to 1619. When you consider some weeks I can hit 7,000 to 8,000, that's not great, but we know I binged at the beginning of the week. Now I'm going to break my diary habit and I'm going to weigh today, which is a day early, and I can't believe it, I've kicked in a pound less than I started the week. So I think we've established that my binge didn't hurt that much in the end, but it still gave me a kick in the arse that I can't take my eye off the game, and although I'm nearly there in my journey, it reminds me I need to track and control my relationship with food. As I keep saying, my selling point is that I'm real and I've walked the walk. So I have the same pitfalls as you, the same problems as you, and the same bad luck, or the same good luck. I'm doing quite well. I'm happy with how I'm doing. I need you guys to help me explore topics to address, so please reach out. My details are in the comments below. How do you address your binges? Do they sometimes beat you? How long do your binges last? Please subscribe and like if you want more content like this. So after such a serious diary, I'm going to pick a fun influencer of the week, as I spend a lot of time watching this guy. So, nieces and nephews, if you want to laugh, go and watch Uncle Roger. And if you don't find him funny, you have no soul. Again, If any of you guys want me to feature one of your favourites, ideally weight loss related or at least cookery, let me know. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again, but for now, I'm happy with that.
Hiya! Uncle Roger! I can't wait to see if you can actually cook.
Of course I can. You scald the fish, stuff the cavity with garlic, ginger, Thai basil. Season the fish with kosher salt. But Gordon, just kosher salt not enough. You also need the makeshift good king of flavor, the cocaine of cooking, MSG for you.